Hey guys, I'm Comrade Kane and welcome back to the Civilization 6 Gathering Storm tutorials. First, I'd like to give a shout out to one of my viewers from Brazil with a username I'm sure I'm going to butcher pronouncing, Klitskin1987, for inspiring me to make this video. I created this infographic to show the sources of gold available in the game. These are listed in no particular order or rank. The numbers are just for categorizing purposes. So feel free to download or bookmark it from the link in the description. I'd love your feedback as well as ideas and suggestions for a similar graphic piece on any other topic. Let's just not be crazy and decide that pillaging is the #1 gold source and I should move it up and anyway. So you've got money problems. Who doesn't? In Civilization 6, there are two types of expenses, buildings and units. So you have to consider carefully what you need to build so as not to go bankrupt. The other option is to know where and how to dig out the gold to support your empire's economy. First, the honorable mention. Your earliest sources of gold will be tribal villages, which gift 40 gold most of the time, and sometimes more as the game progresses. And barb outposts give gold once destroyed. The differences here depend on the difficulty level you are playing on. Here are the numbers for regular speed games. You can download this table from the link in the description. So one of the other sources, early, are the basic improvements, camp, plantation, and fishing boats that provide more gold as new tax and civics are researched. Although later in the game, you might have to consider removing the bonus resources in favor of districts or wonders. Seaside resorts come pretty late, but can be a decent boost to the treasury, depending on the level of the appeal. Trade routes are a powerful mechanic in the game overall, generating yields, building roads, and boosting tourism. But you would get more gold from international and trade routes that go over water. The amount of gold would depend heavily on the types of district and resources the target city has, meaning that if the target city has harbors, government plaza, and commercial hub, you're gonna get more gold comparing to the other cities. There are many sources of trade routes, but mainly markets and lighthouses. And it's important to note that trade route gold yields are boosted through the construction of railroads, tunnels, and canals, although one of the bigger boosters are government policies. Building districts like commercial hubs and harbors is essential for a steady gold income. The adjacency is a whole other tutorial, but this graphic should give you a decent idea of the placement criteria. You certainly do not have to build a commercial hub in every city, but it can certainly be the way to go in low production cities. Harbor cities become very powerful later on. Imagine a city with a mausoleum and a seaport. It's just beautiful. So all these buildings, they provide gold and none bears a maintenance cost, except shipyard. And the gold bonuses get compounded with a number of envoys sent to the trade type city-states, so keep that in mind. Government policies are amazing overall. I would strongly recommend getting Extended Government Policies mod that shows the yields right on the cards, so you can make the decisions easier. I often play without the mod, but it's just more time sunk into the game trying to figure things out. There are other ones too that help the financial decision making. I mean, I rarely upgrade combat units without professional army policy, for example, or buy tiles without land surveyors policy. Those policies all help to save the gold that could be spent more efficiently elsewhere. This is something you should not disregard. The bonuses from city-states for any yield are just amazing, and you do not have to be a suzerain to gain those. So trade city-states are the ones that provide gold. Never send more envoys than needed. You can keep them in reserve and use them later. So it takes one envoy to gain 2 gold in the capital and in every market and lighthouse. Imagine the amount of gold you're gonna get. If you have a couple markets, couple lighthouses, I mean, it's going up there. No need to send more envoys until banks and other buildings are unlocked. Keep them in reserve. Note that underrated diplomatic quarters buildings like consulate and chancery also earn those bonuses from each city-state. So on a larger map, this could be ridiculously overpowered. And then it's city management, right? If you're on the pinch, then micromanaging citizens and using specialists that provide +4 gold each could be a way to raise funds quickly. District projects should not be discounted either. Late in the game, when you run out of options to build stuff, queuing up these projects could make your life much easier. Encampment and harbors projects outputs are horribly inefficient, but commercial hubs 30% from production is pretty decent. And finally, other stuff. Hard to categorize, otherwise this infographic would be out of control. So making deals with AI should always be your thing throughout the game. I use the quick deals mod that helps to keep track of available deals, and I highly recommend it. Trade away as many resources as possible, luxury but also strategic. Diplomatic favor and even great works could be on the table, depending on the game you're playing. Try to get the lump sum from the AI, because it's just worth more now than later, especially on higher difficulties, like allowing you to buy a unit in a pinch, for example. And check out this table on Reddit that helps figuring out how much lump sum you can get for a corresponding gold per turn offer. Siphoning funds is just a must in any game. It's like a low risk type of mission, very high rate of success. I would highly recommend sending spies to other civs and siphon as much gold as you can. There are a bunch of wonders that provide gold, many favorites here, like Petra, like Big Ben, awesome. Religion beliefs, naturally, just note that you can only pick one of these, as they are of the same type, founder type. And last but most certainly not least is pillaging or pillaging. And I mean with the right policies in place, like raid and other ones, it is such an amazing booster to the treasury that could sponsor your wars all the way to victory. But I have to say it works better on higher difficulties where AI has much more infrastructure built out when you're actually ready to pillage. So I hope you found this information useful. Subscribe to the channel to get more, and visit comradekane.com to download the graphics and other stuff. Thank you for watching, guys, and I'll see you all next time.